10 mind-blowing facts about the Revolutionary War. You won't believe number 7. Hey there, BuzzList brains. It's your old pal Peter, back with another video. You know we love a good listicle here at BuzzList, and today we're diving headfirst into the American Revolution. So buckle up, history buffs and casual viewers alike, because we're about to uncover 10 Revolutionary War facts that'll leave you saying, no way, that's true. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. All right, let's kick things off with a bang, or should I say a musket shot heard around the world. Fact number 1. The Revolutionary War wasn't just some local skirmish fought in American backyards between farmers and redcoats. Oh no, my friends, this was a global showdown. Think of it like the Super Bowl of its time. But instead of just 2 teams, you had Great Britain facing off against not just the rebellious American colonies, but also France, Spain and the Netherlands. Battles weren't just happening on American soil, they were going down in Europe, the Caribbean and even India. It's like finding out your quiet neighbour who collects stamps is actually a secret agent who travels the world fighting bad guys. So, yeah, the American Revolution was a pretty big deal, folks. Okay, time for fact number 2, and get ready to have your minds blown, especially if your minds are stuck in elementary school history class. George Washington, the big cheese himself, the OG American hero, did not have wooden teeth. I know, right? It's like finding out your childhood pet hamster actually lived for 20 years and had a secret family in the walls. The truth is, Washington's dentures were much fancier and way grosser. We're talking gold, ivory, lead, and even real human teeth. Imagine being the dentist who had to ask George Washington for a tooth. Excuse me, Mr. President, sir, but my other client, Bob, needs a new molar. Why so many different materials, you ask? Well, back then, dentures were like the Wild West of dentistry. So, next time you see a portrait of Washington, picture him rocking a set of pearly whites made from a hippopotamus tusk and some poor guy named Bob's molar. And let's not forget the tools they used back then. They were more like medieval torture devices than anything you'd find in a modern dentist's office. It's amazing to think about how far we've come in dental technology, from using animal parts and human teeth to the advanced materials we have today. So the next time you dread a dentist appointment, just remember, at least you're not getting a tooth from a hippo or a fellow human. George Washington may not have had wooden teeth, but his dental history is still pretty wild and fascinating. It's just another reminder that history is full of surprising and sometimes bizarre facts that make our past so interesting. So keep questioning what you think you know, because you never know what hidden truths you might uncover. Let's move on to fact number 3. And hold on to your tricorn hats, because this one's a doozy. We're diving into one of the most famous acts of rebellion in American history. The Boston Tea Party, that iconic act of rebellion that involved colonists dumping tea into Boston Harbor. Well, it wasn't really about the tea. Yes, you heard that right. It wasn't just about those crates of tea. Sure, the colonists were upset about the tea tax, but it was more about the principle of the whole thing. They were frustrated with the lack of representation in the British Parliament and the unfair laws being imposed on them. The British East India Company, which was like the Amazon of its day, had a monopoly on tea trade, and they were using that power to undercut colonial merchants. This monopoly meant that colonial merchants were losing business and money, so the colonists were basically like, nope, not going to stand for this corporate greed. They saw the tea tax as a symbol of British tyranny, and they decided to stage a very public, very messy breakup. It was a bold statement against the British government's overreach and control. It's like if you broke up with someone by throwing all their clothes out the window, but instead of clothes, it's tea. And instead of a window, it's the Atlantic Ocean. This dramatic act of defiance sent a clear message. The colonists were ready to fight for their rights and freedoms, no matter the cost. Fact 4. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, spoiler alert, he had backup. All right, fact number 4 is about to rewrite everything you thought you knew about American history, or at least one very famous poem. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride? Yeah, he wasn't alone. Turns out Revere was just one of many riders spreading the alarm about the approaching British troops. In fact, there was a whole network of these riders, kind of like an 18th century Pony Express. But instead of delivering mail, they were delivering urgent messages about impending battles. And get this, some historians believe that a woman named Sybil Ludington rode twice as far as Revere to warn the colonists. Talk about girl power. Fact 5. The Declaration of Independence, signed by 56 blokes and they weren't all wearing wigs. Fact number 5 takes us to the signing of the Declaration of Independence, a document so important it's probably kept in a museum vault guarded by lasers and sharks. 56 men signed this historic document, and while they all agreed that King George could go take a long walk off a short pier, they weren't exactly what you'd call best buds. These guys came from all walks of life, with different backgrounds, beliefs and even accents. Imagine trying to get 56 people to agree on what pizza toppings to order. Now imagine trying to get them to agree on declaring independence from a global superpower. It's a testament to the power of democracy, and maybe a little bit of compromise, that they managed to pull it off. Fact 6. Voulez-Vous Revolution. The French were in on it too. Hold on to your baguettes because fact number 6 is all about the French. That's right, the American Revolution wasn't just an American affair. It was like one of those epic parties that start small and then suddenly everyone's showing up with their friends. And in this case, the friends were the French. And they brought their A-game, along with their cannons, ships and soldiers. The French and the British had a bit of a rivalry going on. So when the colonists decided to throw a revolution, the French saw an opportunity to mess with their old nemesis. Plus, they were big fans of liberty and equality, at least in theory. So next time you're enjoying a croissant or a glass of Bordeaux, raise a toast to the French, the ultimate wingmen of the American Revolution. Fact 7. Invisible ink, secret codes and dead drops. The Revolution was basically a spy movie. Get ready for fact number 7 because things are about to get sneaky. We're diving into the shadowy world of espionage during the Revolutionary War. Espionage, my friends, was all the rage during the Revolutionary War. It was a time when information was power and both sides were desperate to gain the upper hand. Forget social media, these guys were all about invisible ink, secret codes and clandestine meetings. They had to be incredibly resourceful and creative to outsmart their enemies. Think James Bond, but with powdered wigs and muskets. The stakes were high and the methods were just as thrilling. Both sides had their own networks of spies, gathering intel, spreading rumours and generally making life difficult for the enemy. These networks were crucial to the war effort. And they had some pretty ingenious methods too. From dead drops to secret signals, they left no stone unturned. For example, they used invisible ink made from lemon juice, which would become visible when heated. This simple yet effective technique was a game changer. They also used coded messages, often hidden in plain sight within regular letters. These codes were meticulously crafted to avoid detection. So next time you're sending a secret message, maybe stick to emojis. They're more secure and way less likely to be intercepted by a dude on horseback. The ingenuity and bravery of these spies played a pivotal role in the outcome of the war. Their legacy lives on in the world of espionage today. Fact 8. 8 years of war. That's longer than some celebrity marriages. Fact number 8 is a bit of a reality check. The Revolutionary War wasn't some quickie affair. It lasted a whopping 8 years. That's longer than some celebrity marriages, people. Can you imagine fighting for your freedom for 8 long years? No Netflix, no smartphones, just muskets, mud, and the constant threat of being attacked by redcoats. And speaking of those redcoats, they probably weren't too thrilled about being stuck in a war on the other side of the Atlantic for 8 years either. Imagine having to explain to your friends back home that you're still fighting a bunch of colonists who refuse to pay their taxes. So yeah, the next time you complain about a long work week, just remember the Revolutionary War and be grateful you're not dodging musket balls on a daily basis. Fact 9. Benedict Arnold, the OG traitor who took switching sides to a whole new level. And now, for fact number 9, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the traitor in the Continental Army. Benedict Arnold, the name that's synonymous with betrayal. The guy who makes Judas look like a stand-up dude. This guy was a skilled military leader, but somewhere along the line he decided to switch sides. And not in a casual, oh, I'm Team Edward now kind of way. We're talking full-blown treason here, folks. He tried to hand over West Point, a key strategic location, to the British in exchange for money and a fancy title. So, the next time you think about betraying your friends, remember Benedict Arnold and think again. Fact 10. The Treaty of Paris. Because even wars need a time out. And finally, fact number 10 brings us to the end of this long, dramatic saga. The Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783, officially ended the Revolutionary War. It's like the final episode of a TV show where all the loose ends are tied up and everyone gets their happily ever after. The British finally acknowledged American independence, which was kind of the whole point of the war in the first place. It wasn't all smooth sailing, of course, but in the end, they hammered out a deal, the cannons fell silent, and the United States of America was officially a thing. So the next time you're celebrating the 4th of July, remember the Treaty of Paris, the document that made it all possible. And there you have it, folks. 10 mind-blowing facts about the American Revolution that they probably didn't teach you in school. Let us know in the comments which Revolutionary War fact surprised you the most. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. It helps us more than you know. Until next time, stay curious.